Every summer, millions of us write a blank check to a $174 billion industry. We buy fragile, expensive metal boxes that die every 15 years, require endless repairs, and chain us entirely to a vulnerable power grid. The average homeowner will quietly hand over $15,000 to the HVAC industry over their lifetime. But what if you could cut your cooling and heating costs by up to 70% using a system that costs pennies a day to run, lasts a century, and requires almost zero maintenance? It's called the Earth Tube, and the modern HVAC industry hopes you never find out about it. The reason you don't have an Earth Tube under your house has nothing to do with science. It has everything to do with money. The HVAC business model depends on degradation. Parts must break, refrigerant must leak, filters must be subscribed to, replacements must repeat. Now picture an Earth Tube. It's one trench, one pipe, one small fan, one installation, and then silence, zero recurring revenue for anyone. It breaks every single link in the HVAC profit chain, so the industry let bureaucracy bury it. Because building codes don't explicitly mention earth tubes, lazy inspectors just default to no, citing the risk of underground radon gas. And while radon is a real threat, Europe completely solved this problem with proper installation standards back in the 1990s. America's response was just to pretend the technology didn't exist. But here's the truth. You do not need a permit to understand physics. Before you pick up a shovel, you only need to know three things: your soil type, your water table depth, and your local radon zone. Here is exactly how you build one. First, the depth. 6 feet down is the magic number. At 6 feet, the Earth is a massive, permanent thermal battery that holds a constant, steady temperature of around 45 degrees Fahrenheit year-round. It ignores summer heat waves, and it ignores winter blizzards. To tap into that battery, you lay 100 to 200 feet of pipe in a trench, but not just any pipe. You must use smooth-walled PVC or high-density polyethylene. Never use corrugated pipe. The ridges trap condensation and breed mold. You slope the entire system at a 2% downhill grade so any moisture safely drains away. You backfill it tightly with earth. No air gaps. Air gaps destroy thermal transfer. Finally, you completely seal every single joint. This weld is your ultimate barrier against radon and groundwater. You stick a vertical air intake above ground, attach a tiny 100-watt fan, and connect the output to an energy recovery ventilator inside your home. In summer, the earth strips the heat away. In winter, it pre-warms freezing air. But what if you live in a high radon zone or you have a hyper-strict building inspector? There is a bulletproof workaround, the closed-loop glycol earth tube. Instead of moving air through the buried pipes, you circulate a water and glycol liquid. The fluid acts as a thermal sponge, absorbing the Earth's stable temperature and carrying it to a heat exchanger inside your house. There is zero radon pathway, zero mold risk, and because it's just moving liquid, it is completely code compliant under standard plumbing rules in every state. Heating and cooling consume half of your home's energy. Earth tubes attack that problem at its root, not with complex, fragile machinery, but with dirt, a pipe, and human ingenuity. When the grid collapses during a brutal heat wave and conventional AC units die, the Earth Tube doesn't care. It keeps breathing. The ground does not need electricity. It does not send a bill. Persian engineers used this exact same method to cool entire desert cities 3,000 years ago. The physics still work. The Earth is still cold. The pipe is just waiting in the dirt.